Greetings, it's Intuitive Jacob back to do a reading for all 12 tribes. This reading is going to be focusing on relationships, what people are thinking, what they are feeling, and what they're being by how they're acting, and also taking a look at what the common factors are. These don't necessarily have to be any specific kind of relationships, since these readings could be for potentially a number of people. They could play out differently, so you'll have to know whether or not these are your stories, and also know your own genders and whether these are applicable. They might not resonate. Also make sure that you're not just checking your sun, but your moon and your rising sign with me, because I am more of a moon reader. Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck for most of the reading. I'll be pulling 7 cards. 2 of them are going to be for what you're thinking, what they're thinking. 2 are for what you're feeling, what they're feeling. And 2 are for what you're being, what they're being. And then the center card, the 7th card, is what the common factors are. I'll also be taking a look with the Romance Angels Oracles card for people that are interested in things that might have a personal or romantic connotation. And in some cases, I will be drawing clarifiers with La Vera Sibila. It's my Italian everyday oracle deck. Hopefully you'll find something that's for you, and I'll be catching you on the inside of your reading. Now we're going to go ahead and move on. Going to light a little bit of something here, do a little energy hygiene, and then change the sign here so that we can move on to the sign of Cancer. Tribes. I prefer that anyway. Cancer. C-E-R. That's generally what I hear from my guides, at least. These were energies that were quarantined. Because on Maritime Admiralty law, none of us ever said yes to things like Cancer. We've been learning about our ability to replicate energies on a quantum field. I don't even think I can even call it that anymore, but on an energetic grid where we have coordinates, kind of like P.P.S, where we can halo in energy that doesn't get trapped in static interference anymore. It's been a part of a secret project I've been working on, not so secret anymore. When I put out a honeypot to lead Satoshi Nakamoto home, this poor little Satoshi, I think he got lost, and helped improve where that goes with a neural hack. But anyway, we've got a lot of energies here to help us create better things, and with some of you all approaching your solar return, if you are native Cancer sun, some of these energies might be especially fervent for you. For me, I'm a 0 degree Cancer rising man, which is kind of like the Cancer that didn't happen, and so I've been speaking to these things as a cosmic exorcist to help with a quarantine of this energy that doesn't get to be violent to us now that we understand the replication model and how to create health versus dis-ease. And so I like to speak to tribes because for me it's been a quarantine of whatever that energy symbolized, and for a lot of people just the word Cancer is extremely triggering. And around people like me who actually were diagnosed with Cancer, that literally died from Cancer-related situations, that came back from the dead after that and now have 0 evidence of disease, it's very challenging to hear these words and not apply a healing mechanism on them. And so I've been divining with my name in 0 point energy, which is what I'm doing here with this Omega Wand, to cancel that which is not allowed to be true in one resonance. Because in the universe, where there's actually one word that we can apply and access and understand, such as no. And now that we have uncovered what was never the Tower of Babel to stay distorted, where people would be encouraged to stay in a state of nascence and unaware, we are able to protect those energies. Or perhaps our brain was never severed in two for some 12-strand DNA hocus-pocus crap on how to torture being into endless states of time, dragging them out in a 2D linear time wheel such as astrology. So I don't read as an astrologer does. I speak as somebody who is in touch with the moon and what it is to tune sound. And so Cancer is a safe energy here that is quarantined all the way around and is a reflective part that was never pulled apart as a transparency or overlay for other beings to stuff frames in, of Capricorn. So I recommend looking at whatever is going to be most relevant to you, but a lot of times looking at the opposing signs is helpful. Alright, let's get your 7 cards here, Cancer. I think this is going to do it. Let me burn something to heal with this. Got a bit of Terra healing incense. This is probably what May was like for some of y'all. Hopefully this is what we're leaving behind, and this is the reflection point of what already happened. I'm hearing for some of y'all that's the case. For others, this is literally like crying over spilled milk, and they're saying it's like sour grapes, bad leftovers if somebody was dealing with a magician who was doing the right thing. And that's really big for some of y'all that are waiting for something to happen if your birthday is in July, is what I'm hearing. But that 7 of Pentacles was looking up at me. But for some of you, this is just literally, this is like knowing that whatever happened in May left you set up with something else. Because this right here, that's like whatever happened that was forfeited. And here, there's these 2 cups that are, for some of y'all, like in the present, for like right now, for the taking. Alright, let's see what's going on here, Cancer. Wow. Somebody's, either you're dealing with a Gemini or you might be in love or in the process of making a really serious decision. It could be going on right now. It's like who do you choose to love? This is like a real big deal. I'm hearing for something it's like confession time. Because this is standing upright, and this is like people that are standing here in their nude, and there's somebody like an officiant in front of them. Officiant. Their mind. Interesting. Okay, so I just read for Gemini. This card showed up in this same position, but it was upright here. This card is in reverse. And so you could possibly be dealing with a Gemini. I'm hearing for somebody it's like they lost their job because of whatever that situation is. Somebody's losing their job over this, but it might be like why somebody is like not working. I'm hearing it's like filing for unemployment, and bless you. Bless you, my love. Bless you. Bless you. My little girl. Hearing for somebody that, like, the reason why this is a 5 of Cups is because all they do is work. It's like you do it for love. And like this person, somebody's like mooching is what I'm hearing. It's like big mooch. It's like they just are not interested because somebody else will do it, is what it is. I'm hearing it's just like won't pick up a hand and like do anything. It's just okay. Yeah, so emotionally, I think somebody might just be really burned out here too, because Queen of Wands, she's awesome, and when she shows up right, she's like beautiful and expressive and fiery and sexy, and emotionally she's showing up like this. This is like the woman scorned kind of thing. I'm hearing for somebody, it's like finding out somebody cheated is what it was. It's like everything that this person has been doing for love. And it might have been like an office thing. This might be the same deal, because this Queen of Wands was showing up as like the subject over here, but she was upright. And that was with Gemini. And she was like there, at least in that reading, you know, she's the one that's in charge. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to pick on character here, because for some of y'all, it's like not even related to that one. But if this is you, for instance, I'm hearing it's like somebody just feels like emotionally burned. It's like if you were feeling like this before, this is when you were feeling your greatest and things were popping and you're getting the right kind of attention, you know, you're like in your magic, and then it's like something just throws you off. And I'm hearing it's like kind of like an emotional thing, and like somebody kind of hiding it. It's like you put up a real good strong front, put it that way, is what I'm hearing. But if you are feeling, I would be careful with this one. If this isn't, I'd be careful with it either way, because there are implications. If you feel like motivated as this woman reversed, this is like somebody that will do psychotic things sometimes. Like they'll just go out to burn you. And so just be cautious, especially if you're feeling emotional or like you were dealing with somebody toxic, you know, because that's not good. And it's not worth it. I'm hearing for somebody though, it's like, it's more like putting the brakes on how you express this loving energy with somebody, because it's like you're coming out of something crappy. Something was sad, and so somebody here, especially if it's somebody that you might know from a work situation, it's like that's why you're blocked. It's like, no, I'm not going there, you know? So what's going on here? So this person, I'm hearing they just had it. This might be the person that left work. I'm hearing somebody literally is going to get canned for something that they were doing that they shouldn't have been doing, and that this is all like they could file for benefits a certain way, but they're not. It's like they're clinging on is what it is. It's like I see somebody here and they're like, oh, you know, I've done all of these things. It's like they're showing it to me like this person will hear everything they say. They're just like under a spell almost, because this person can tell them anything about what they do, about work, or like how much they're contributing, but it's like they're showing me it's almost like they're doing it like underhanded. Like it's just like, well, I know I can take from this woman. It's like, I don't like it. It's making me uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I'm like feeling like itchy about it. It's not good, especially if it's like an older woman and like a younger man situation. It's like he's like grabbing at her. And I'm hearing somebody else's guides like the true wealth is in the heart, and so that's kind of what might be blinding this person here, if that's the situation. Yeah. Okay. Here. Yeah, it's like this person might just be very good at holding their emotions together after they have been hurt, because the Queen of Cups here too, if this is how, let's say, you're being, perhaps, whether you're she, he, they, other, know your own gender, this person here is usually suffered in some kind of emotional way, and so when they show up right, a lot of times they're showing up really informed, emotionally informed, and kind of protected somehow because they've already been through that. And so although they might feel a lot of things, you might not always see it because they can kind of hold it together, but somebody might be under a lot of stress here. I'm hearing it's like endocrine stress, perhaps, maybe adrenal fatigue, like they're burned out emotionally, but it's like they're very focused on something, and it's like whatever they've idealized is like the brass ring, or like whatever it is. Like I hear she might be like looking forward to retirement or something, and it's like trying to get a check or something, and it's like someone just squatting on it is what they're saying. It's like somebody's squatting on it. You don't know if that's, I don't know, I'm getting like a weird image, but I'm hearing somebody squatting on it, and it's like deliberate. It's somebody just like milking it because they know it's like the end. I'm hearing somebody just, it's like here, this person, if they're the Klingon, it's like they're at the end of the rope here. So, alright, let's see what's going on. Well, King of Cups showing up in reverse. Okay, so what I'm hearing about right now is like the truth coming out about how somebody's relationship is being acted out. And it's like something that nobody knows about. In one case, it's like we're all in, but it's like we're not talking, is what I'm seeing here. And it's like there's water, and this is the perfect couple sometimes, see, especially when they're looking at each other. It's the King and the Queen of Cups. Here, it's like they look like their backs are to each other, you know, that's how it showed up, but that doesn't have to mean anything. But I'm hearing for some, it's like it's just there's a distance. There's a distance. It might be emotional, but it's like for somebody, it's like you kind of met in passing at work, but it wasn't like somebody wasn't like a coworker, is what I'm hearing. It's like it wasn't a coworker, but there are people that are involved, and I'm hearing for some of you, or if there is like a work thing involved, it's like there's 3 people here that they're showing me that are like the source of trouble or ill regard or dissatisfaction, and why emotionally you or whoever's on this side might be upside down and feeling like tired, burned out. I'm hearing working a lot, and just because it's like a love thing. I'm hearing for somebody else though, it's like emotionally they're blocking. It's like some things that somebody does not want to hear about at their work, and it's like the nature of relationship, like how these people act out with each other, you know. It's like this husband-wife dynamic, but it's like they don't want people to know about it. It's like I got this Queen of Wands upside down, and somebody found out something about the nature of somebody's relationship, and it's like this is like the mic drop moment is what I'm hearing. It's like when this one that normally has her shit together on the side, and this guy that can like play it real cool, like just drop the mic emotionally, and like this Ten of Wands, it's like upside down. It's like somebody that's just like had it, and I'm just hearing it's like how a silence gets broken, and it's for somebody it's gonna cast a shadow of some kind on whatever happened in May. It's like I'm hearing like I know what you did last summer or something. But anyway, this position card that's showing up here, this is like a stalemate energy. This is Two of Swords. This is a mental, cerebral type of energy. The Swords energy is a lot of times like communications that are either happening or need to happen. Sometimes this is like psychic energy where somebody has blocked their heart. And I'm hearing for somebody it's like they don't want the truth to come out. Emotionally, it's like they're just like and they're both turned away. For somebody else, I hear it's like it's more like a telepathic thing. It's like people that are just focused on balancing their emotions. And I'm hearing that if it was an emotional distance between these people, they are like the right stature and everything for each other. Like emotionally they're compatible, physically they're compatible, like sexually they'd be compatible. It's like they're intellectually compatible, like all the compatibilities here. But it's like if it was a work thing, there's involvement, and it's draining emotionally for both sides here. It's like nobody knows what to do, and so there's an impasse energy here. And I hear that it's like just not knowing what to do and needing some form of communication, but neither one of these parties look like they're communicating, and so it's like kind of frustrating, especially because there's so much energy. And there's a lot of energy on both sides, but the Lovers here, this is major arcana. I'm hearing it's like somebody has their mind really set on whatever can happen right now. It might be because of your birthday coming up, or maybe a birthday that you had. You might be dealing with somebody whose birthday is in the month of 6, in June, or like a Gemini or something. But I'm hearing it's like this is like a pending communication situation, and if not, it looks like just a parting of ways is what it is. It's like things that fall off because of no communication. And for some people, it's like a harsh fucking standoff too, emotionally, but playing it real cool at the same time. Because emotionally, like the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, especially if they're showing upright and they're just like both checked out, it's like, they're gonna look like they got the maybe not too much poker face, but you're not going to know too much is going on because they balance their emotions. But they might be a hot freaking container under there too, because you got 10 fiery wands and somebody in reverse here, and then a Queen of Wands reverse, and that's like somebody who will they'll make plans to hurt you if they hate you. That Queen of Wands can be like feisty, but whatever's happening, they're not acting out that way. They're acting out like cups. And so this, for somebody, is actually, I'm hearing it's just like a weird sexually frustrated vibe is what they're telling me. It's like emotionally, it's like something's very tense, and it's like somebody's not getting paid attention to is what it is. And so it just looks like unsettled. So I'm hearing for somebody, if this is like purely work related, it's like a company you're working for, and the husband and the wife are like dividing the assets, and it's like they're just showing up to work and everything, and it's like a weird tense vibe. It's like everybody knows it's over, but it's like waiting for the guard to pass or something. See if I can get a Romance Angels card for y'all. Get a little extra information for people that were interested just in personal/romance. So if you want a private, hit me up at artoflove.me or book.artoflove.me. I can do one of these with chest share energy. forgiving and learning. Yeah. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So that's what this card looks like. And yeah, it's sometimes this is kind of how you need to witness for yourself, especially if somebody is not willing to communicate. It's sometimes you can't find that moment of closure where you can even sit with that person. And so it's sort of like tuning into whatever your inner guidance is. It's stuff that you hear and know, even if you're not paying attention to anything around you. But I'm hearing for somebody, it's like, this might have to do with the one where there was a betrayal, and it's like finding out about whoever this other person was, especially if it was a work-related thing with whoever was in charge. This could be the theme right now, it's forgiving and learning. So yeah, I hope it gets better here, Cancer, because that looks like it could be sort of a situation. Now here for somebody else though, this is like why this couple might not have spoken, because in some cases the theme has been the forgiving and learning, and this might be why certain people are feeling a lot of energy where they maybe want to give up on whatever they've been holding on to, just because of what's happened in the past. And so, you know, it could be a time to really pay attention to the things that are bringing you into a balanced state of self. There's a strong emphasis on golden colors here, which has a lot to do with the third chakra, the solar plexus. I'm also going to pull you 3 Sibelas here and see if we can get a little bit of clarity about this 2 of Swords. I really want to see what happens here, because it looks like there's either an impasse or a need for communication here. And we'll see what the Everyday Oracle has for us. Okay, we've got the Torre. Okay, so that's somebody that's been feeling sick in bed. I'm hearing for somebody it's morning sickness. Lamante in reverse, so that's the lover. That's the one of the lovers in this deck. I would say she, but no, if it's he, the other. That one is showing upside down. It's like lovesick. And Viaggio upside down. So that's the trip that somebody needs to take. I'm hearing about the long distance love, and well, it seems, look at this, the conversation's even looking up at me upside down. La conversazione. Somebody needs to have a conversation. I'm hearing that someone's been lovesick, is what they're telling me, is what this looks like. It's like, kind of like, don't want to get up without you kind of thing, and then, you know, sit around looking at your pictures, and, you know, I want to see you kind of thing. And so for somebody, this is a need to just get out, because I'm getting like a little bit of a agoraphobic vibe from somebody here. And it might just be how much they're working. It's like they're just saying like hermiting a lot, and so, you know, you're gonna know if you need to have a conversation. But I'm here for somebody. Yeah, I really think so, because I was looking up after that is the Jovian Fanciulla upside down. See, she doesn't really speak up a lot anyway. She's like one of the virgins in the deck, and it's like she doesn't know what to say sometimes. She's quiet, she's subtle, and she's like pointing behind her at something. And I'm hearing for somebody, it's like she just needs to speak up, because they're showing an empty room that she's leaving behind her, and like these really jealous ass people that are showing upside down that like have been making a mess, is what I'm hearing. And so sometimes it's just time to forgive yourself for not knowing the things that you know now, and picking up where you can and having a decent conversation first with yourself so that you're at least in the self-dialogue to take a forward step with somebody that might need to hear from you. Because I'm hearing if this is a romantic situation, it's like the forgiveness that you need for each other it's more like, it's not like, oh, I'm sorry I hurt you. It's more like, I'm hearing this other conversation. It's like these two people talking, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know how to tell you this. I didn't know how to express this. I didn't have the words at the time. I was learning how to feel this when it was too much. And so you might need to talk to somebody. So make sure you forgive yourself first, because sometimes that's the worst part of it, you know, Cancer. So I'm going to wrap it up on that one, and I'm going to check my little girl here. I think she needs some help, and I'll be editing these and coming back to do Leo. Here.